Oh, 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 O'Reilly.
This is Education Matters with myohiohome.org. That's myohiohome.org. Home ownership, ready when you are.
Live and local conversation for the Ohio Valley continues shortly, here on the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe.
Wheeling Coin and Hobby on 10th Street in Wheeling, next to the Bridge Tavern in downtown Wheeling, wants to buy any and all unwanted gold and silver jewelry. They are paying top dollar for 10, 14, 18, and 22 karat gold plus 925 sterling silver. They also want to buy collectible coins and paper money from before 1933. Wheeling Coin and Hobby is open daily from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Saturday. Coin and Hobby, 304-232-8430, and add them on Facebook.
There's a place where family and tradition are forged in the West Virginia hills, strengthened by the inspiration of a world-class education, where hands-on learning is encouraged and applied. A community where you will be supported and be inspired to support others. An experience that is more than just a university, it's a place you'll call home. A legacy you'll leave for generations to come. It's all here at West Liberty University.
Now, during the Jim Robinson Ford Lincoln Toyota Pre-Owned Super Sale, select from over 80 vehicles in stock starting under $5,000. Most are local trades, many with one owner. Hurry to Jim Robinson at the Highlands, home of lifetime powertrain protection. Now, during the Jim Robinson Ford Lincoln Toyota Pre-Owned Super Sale, select from over 80 vehicles in stock starting under $5,000. Most are local trades, many with one owner. Hurry to Jim Robinson at the Highlands, home of lifetime powertrain protection.
Hello everyone, from the Watchdog, I'm the Storm Tracker Darnell Foster. With a look at your local weather forecast for your Monday. We look for a mix of sun and clouds for the majority of the afternoon. A daytime high near 71 degrees. Few clouds through the evening. Some of us might see a sprinkle or two. Temperatures down to about 52 for the low. Plenty of sunshine around for your Tuesday, with highs in the mid to upper 70s. Have yourself a great day, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm Darnell Foster.
The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of this station or its sponsors.
Not a Monday guy.
I'm not crazy about it either. I also don't like Tuesdays, Wednesdays, or Thursdays.
Are you ready to go?
I'm warning you, I'm seriously stressed out here.
You always drink like this so early in the morning?
It's not as early in the day for the bottle. Even for you. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
Make a radio call.
It's time to get up.
It's time to hear that power.
Self-destruct in 5 seconds.
We are go for one.
From the West Virginia Broadcasting Hall of Fame, directly to you. This is the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe, brought to you in part by Wheeling Hospital.
Well, I don't know, maybe we should have used the old Carpenter song, Rainy Days and Mondays. I thought today was going to be another nice, beautiful day like yesterday, but it could be warm, 70 or so for our high. But Zach says we're looking for a mostly cloudy day today, some showers possible, even a rumble of thunder later in the day. 42 degrees at the Wheeling, Ohio County Airport at the home studios here in the Elm Grove section of Wheeling, and at the Robinson Auto Group studios downtown Wheeling in the heart of the Ohio Valley. Still dark and clear outside right now, but some rain apparently is coming. I don't know whether I should try this or not. You know, I keep getting, I don't know why, but I keep getting email from the office of Donald Trump. And I got this yesterday. Thank you for your interest in receiving a personalized greeting from Donald Trump and Melania Trump for any special occasion you choose. Allow up to 6 weeks for processing your request. Due to the volume of greeting requests the President and Mrs. Trump receive, we will not provide status updates. Anyway, then I can fill out this form and, my name and what special event, like is it a birthday greeting or, whatever. And Donald and Melania will. It doesn't say here whether or not they're going to charge me for this, but I'm pretty sure they will. I'm pretty sure to pay for it. But honest to goodness, I got thinking, I hate to give any money to Donald Trump, obviously. And I don't know what I'd like to try to have him say. But I'm thinking, could I have him do a personalized greeting that would say, this is Donald Trump and Melania. And for the last 4 years, Monroe has tried to get us out of office, and he finally succeeded. I mean, would they record that if I paid him for it?
I bet if the price was right.
That's what I'm thinking too. I think he's going to be strapped for cash, so he's looking for ways to make money. But I'm giving it some serious thought. I hate to give you money, and of course that would then mean I'd get on the multiple repeat list. But I get multiple emails from his office, anyways. The office of the ex-president. In fact, the website, I hate to give you his website, 45office.com, if you want to. And you too, yes, you too. Could have a personalized greeting from Donald Trump. I saw somebody on CNN this weekend said, when they first read that, they thought it was from The Onion. I said, seriously, you can't be doing this. Excuse me, Jimmy Carter's building houses. George W. Bush became kind of an amateur painter. Richard Nixon, even Richard Nixon, when he was an ex-president, went into exile for a little while, and then started writing books on foreign policy. And this is what ex-presidents do. Trump is selling personalized greetings like you can get from, celebrity impersonators. So, but I'm thinking, if you want to tell me should I do this or not, text me, 304-214-1600. And if I were to have a personalized greeting done by Donald Trump and Melania, what should it say? 304-214-1600. What should my personalized greeting from Donald Trump have to say? Speaking of Trump, these yabalonis in the legislature in West Virginia, they're now talking about making a highway into the Donald Trump Memorial Highway, which I guess for one of the states is the most every day discussed. I do this, Bippy. I am so sorry, everybody. The problem is I don't talk much before I get started, and then it all comes up. Anyways, they're talking about making a memorial highway for Donald Trump. I guess in some ways it makes some sense, since we are among the states that is most supportive of him. But a tweet yesterday from someone in the district where they're talking about it says, back in my district, where the Republicans are pushing to rename the highway to President Donald Trump, if they bothered to ask those of us who represent the district, they would have learned the highway already has a name. It is the West Virginia Veterans Memorial Highway. So think about that. The legislature, this goofy legislature that we have going on right now, wants to get rid of a Veterans Highway and make it the Trump Highway. Which makes perfect sense in this legislature. Sure, why not? Everything they do is so wackadoodle. 7:15, Watchdog Morning Show, 42 degrees. How was your weekend, Biffy?
Good weekend. Yesterday was Easter, was nice. Had lunch up at Mom's and dinner over at Dad's. And in between trips, I watched the final 3 holes of the golf at Mom's house before heading down to Dad's because it was so close, and I wanted to see if Jordan Spieth would hang on and win, which he did. So that was good, and then headed down to Dad's for dinner and had a good dinner. And then Saturday was nice, so I went out and took a little walk Saturday, and Friday night we had the Weirton and John Marshall basketball game. So that was about it.
We had a great Easter yesterday. Now, I was a little out of action. Saturday, I was playing with Teddy, and one of the things that my family tells me, and Teddy now is very big about too, says, don't get on the floor with him. He likes to be playing. Grandma gets on the floor. Granddaddy, don't get on the floor. Don't get on the floor, Granddaddy. And I've often said my problem in getting on the floor and playing with Teddy is not getting on the floor and playing, but rather, he's getting up.
Yes.
Getting up is the problem. So Saturday, I decided I'm on the floor, and he tells me I'm going down. He goes, Granddad, don't get on the floor, don't get on the floor, don't get on the floor, Granddaddy. But I wanted to play with the kid. So I'm on the floor, we're playing Legos, I think it was. And then he left and went back to his house, and so I decided to try and get up. I don't like to get up when he's around because I make lots of noises. So I tried to get up, and I twisted my ankle. And I didn't feel too bad during the day on Saturday, but I got up on Sunday morning, Easter morning, and I couldn't walk. Literally could not walk. I couldn't get out of bed and walk to the bathroom. Ankle hurt so bad. And I had planned to go back to church for the first time in a year, my own church. I've been preaching in Dillonvale, but I was going to go back to my own church. Easter services, back to my own church. I was so excited about it. I couldn't do it. I couldn't walk. So my wife went, but I had to stay home, watch the services on TV. And then we had a little dinner here. We decided not to do the turkey and ham and stuff this year. We did Red Lobster takeout. Oh, man. 2 lobster tails, 2 pounds of crab legs, lobster linguine, langostino pizza, baked potato, cheddar biscuits from Red Lobster. Oh, man. What's that? That was good. So we decided to have a little, so we're having a little gathering here, Teddy and his mom and dad and us, as we've done the last year because of the pandemic. So we ate here. And then, though, during the rest of the day, it was really nice. The entire family showed up, which we had not really made plans for. But Teddy and little Ariana had an Easter egg hunt out in the front yard. And then my middle son and his entire family dropped by. And they hung around all day long. Helped out my oldest son, who's still building a fence in his backyard, needs all the help he can get. So he corralled his brothers and and Tyler, one of the big grandkids, into helping him. And it just turned out to be a really great day. My problem was everybody was outside doing all this stuff, and I'm stuck I could not get out of my chair. I sat in the chair, holding my cane. I never felt like such an old man in my life as I did yesterday.
You had to pull out the cane?
Oh, Bethany, you don't understand. I literally could not walk. I mean, it's a little gross here at 7:20 in the morning. I was afraid I couldn't get to the bathroom.
Oh no.
I was concerned about just like sitting there in wet pants or something.
Oh.
So, yeah, I broke out the cane, and with the help of the cane, I could get around the house a little bit, but I couldn't get outside, couldn't go down the steps, couldn't play outside. So everybody's outside playing, Granddad just sitting there in the living room like an old man. Oh, I can't get out. But it was nice to everybody here. So it was a really good Easter. And it was the first time, literally the first time now in a year, that the entire family, we didn't have dinner together, so we weren't all packed together in that living room. But it was the first time the entire family was here at the house at the same time. And that was really nice. It was really neat.
Yeah, we went up to Mom's, and the niece and nephew, they came up, and before they did, we hid Easter eggs just around the front yard and everything, and I think we had 42 little eggs that we had hid. So Mom put change in the eggs for the kids. So
Gotcha.
we hit them, and they came up, and they just started running around looking for eggs. And after they found all the eggs, we ran around the yard and played for about an hour maybe. And my nephew, he kept running around the front and the back and just doing laps around the house. And every time he'd look at me and he'd go, "We go one more time?" I said, "Yeah, we'll go one more time." By about the 10th time, it was, "We go one more time?" "Sure, buddy, why not? You've only said it 10 other times." So finally, that they said, we got to go. So they left, and then they were down at Dad's house too, and we played again for a little bit, and he was playing baseball, basketball, running around, you name it. And finally, after they had left, and they got him in the car, and my niece in the car too, he started rubbing his eyes, and I thought, yep, I don't know how far they're gonna make it, But at some point, he's going to fall asleep before they get home. And I don't know if he did or at what point he did, but when they left, it felt so good to sit on the couch for about an hour. Because I said, I'm going to bed early. I mean, it was about 10 o'clock last night when I got ready for bed because he's just constant motion. He doesn't understand stop. So, he just goes and goes and goes until finally he's had enough. And when he's had enough, I just breathe a sigh of relief like, because he's something. I mean, they both are, but they had fun, hunting for the Easter eggs and playing and everything. And you could tell by the end of the day, because I think they made about 3 or 4 different stops that they had to go to, and
right.
You could tell at the end of the day, it at some point on that ride home, I don't know when, but I think they eventually the gas in the tank, yes, they were sleeping, and if they didn't fall asleep when they got home, I'm sure when they got him in the house, it probably wasn't much longer until they fell asleep, but they had a blast. I mean, they enjoyed it.
Well, that's part of what these holidays are all about. I mean, we know the real meaning of Easter and so on, but for kids, it's fun. Teddy apparently Saturday night. I mean, Teddy does not go to bed early. I mean, in fact, he fights with a passion. It's bedtime. I just want to watch one more episode of Young Sheldon. I just want to play one more game. He fights and fights and fights. Saturday night, I guess he went to his mom and he said, "Mom, you better tuck me in. I want to go to sleep and turn off all the lights in the house. I want to make sure the Easter Bunny comes." So he was in bed early. Of course, he was up early, like at 7 o'clock, had an Easter egg hunt in his front yard. And the hard thing was, the Easter Bunny had visited our house too, of course, and had Easter eggs all through our front yard. But we wanted him to wait until his little cousin, Ariana, was here and they would have them together. Well, that was be a couple of hours. And I guess he kept standing on his porch looking up at our house going, "There are eggs in Granddad's yard. Can I go get the eggs?" Not yet. But that's what makes it all so much fun. I mean, that's just what makes it fun. 7:25 in the morning on the Watchdog Morning Show. Look for some rain today. Full forecast in a bit. What's coming up today here on the Watchdog Morning Show? Governor Justice has called for a summit on taxes this afternoon. It was going to be this morning, and apparently nobody's coming this morning. The legislature had their own meeting scheduled, and they just, we got things to do. So he moved the summit to the afternoon. We'll talk about that today. The House in West Virginia has limited the time for remarks from members where individual delegates can speak on issues they want to speak about. The House has now said, we don't want to do that anymore. So we're going to talk about that. And we're in the home stretch, of course, of the session. Delegate Sean Fluharty coming by to review it all. Always fun when the puppet master is here, Biffy. So we'll have some fun with that. MLB pulls the All-Star game out of Georgia over election reforms. Georgia's governor says they care more about the Democrats than the people of Georgia. We'll talk about that. The allegations against Matt Gaetz are growing, and if I may say so, growing even sleazier, as questions arise about how long can he keep his seat in Congress. Meanwhile, Wheeling's Waterfront Wednesday is adding a new twist this summer, Biffy, which I think is a great idea. We'll talk about that coming up. Much more to discuss today here on the Watchdog Morning Show. It is going to be a cloudy day, partly cloudy this morning, mostly cloudy this afternoon. Showers will develop during the day, even maybe a stray rumble of thunder. Temperatures, 68, 70, 72, somewhere in that range. Nice and warm, but definitely rainy. Currently, it's clear skies and 42 degrees at the Wheeling, Ohio County Airport, 42 at my home studio here in Elm Grove, and 42 at the Robinson Auto Group Studios downtown Wheeling in the heart of the Ohio Valley. Final Four is done. Championship game is set. We will talk about that and more coming up next on the Watchdog Morning Show.
Let your voice be.
All-wheel drive, it has the style and versatility for all your life's adventures. And through May 3rd, get up to $1,250 cash back from Toyota on select new 2021 RAV4s. Shop Toyota's official website for deals, buyatoyota.com. Then see your Toyota dealer. Go Toyota, and let's go places.
For all of your IT needs, visit OmniPerforms.com. Omni Strategic Technologies, the only IT company that the Watchdog trusts.
Washington County's largest gun show is back on Saturday and Sunday, April 10th and 11th from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Washington County Fairgrounds. Admission is just $7, and kids under 12 get in free with an adult. Everyone is welcome. They offer free appraisals and have great prices on all types of firearms, modern, military, and antique. They have over 450 tables with cash buyers on site for your used guns. Visit arhsportshop.com or call 724-948-3571 for more information. That's 724-948-3571 for more information. That's Washington County Gun Show, presented by ARH Sports Shop, April 10th and 11th.
Hannibal. The Watchdog is protecting your yard. Join Howard Monroe, Hoppy Kercheval, Bill DeFabio, and Big Rick for the best live and local talk in the Upper Ohio Valley and beyond. Hannibal trusts the Watchdog.
You can watch a video cast of our show every morning on Facebook Live or on our website. Plus, check archives of all of our videos on the Watchdog YouTube channel. The Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe continues.
If you are watching us right now on Facebook Live video, hello, nice to see you there. Appreciate you being with us this morning. And don't forget to like and share the video. Like it and then share it with your timeline, your news feed. Let other people know what we're doing and be sure that they get a chance to watch us here on the Watchdog Morning Show. I heard that little promo we had, Biffy, about Hannibal. It took me a second to remember we were talking about Hannibal, Ohio. I thought somehow we were talking about a serial killer who eats his victims.
No.
Hannibal Lecter. No, that's not what.
No.
I was thinking, what have we become the station of choice for serial killers? But no, it's Hannibal, Ohio we're talking about, right?
Yes, it is Hannibal, Ohio.
Okay, good. I thought, my Lord, did I miss something? Are we now the serial killer station? Well, Biffy, it looks like it's going to be the Bulldogs versus the Bears for the championship game.
Yes, it is, and my goodness, what a game that was. The UCLA and Gonzaga game on Saturday night, the last of the Final Four. Yeah, the Final Four.
Right.
That second game, and what an ending. I mean, I've watched a lot of basketball and games over the years, and that's right up there with one of the best endings I think I've seen in a college basketball game in a long time.
My Twitter feed, my Facebook feed were filled with people saying, best college game they may have ever seen.
I think for me, probably right up there with that ending would have been the 92 game against Duke in Kentucky, the Christian Leitner shot that when they do the video before that they have all those highlights, and that's one that you see. I mean, you put that one right up there with it.
So it's the Gonzaga Bulldog, the Baylor Bears meeting tonight for the NCAA Tournament National Championship game. And that means it's going to be a matchup in the Watchdog Madness contest between our friend Lisa, a regular listener to the show and to the station, who pulled Gonzaga. I mean, she had the luck of the draw, didn't she? when we pulled these things back on Selection Monday. And Joyce is representing Baylor. So it's Lisa versus Joyce in the Watchdog Madness contest as Gonzaga goes after Baylor in the March Madness. So it should be, we'll see who wins the big screen TV. We'll find out tonight after the championship game. Our contest, by the way, of course, brought to you by West Liberty University. So it's been it was a bracket-busting first round, Biffy, but it's really been an interesting tournament, hasn't it?
Yeah, it really has. I mean, after the first couple days when really I think a lot of brackets were gone, and we had some of the other storylines that we were following, and I think tonight we're going to see a very competitive national championship game. I don't think it'll be a blowout tonight. I think we're going to see a close game, and I wouldn't be surprised if Baylor does beat Gonzaga tonight. I think that this is going to be a good matchup, and we might see another ending like we did Saturday night. Who knows? But I really think it's going to be a close game tonight.
Well, if you want to get a little extra excitement in your watching of the game this evening, you can place a bet with our friends at FanDuel Sportsbook. They are celebrating tonight's game with 40-1 odds on either team. You want to go for some Gonzaga, you want to go with Baylor, 40-1 odds on either team to win. New users get 40-1 odds on either team to win the championship game. So you put down $5, you could win $200. Now, Biffy, where would you put your money? I know you said it could be a close game. Where would you put your money?
I'm actually going with Baylor.
Going for the upset, huh?
I'm going with Baylor tonight. Yep.
I've been so impressed with Gonzaga all season long. They're undefeated, right?
Yes, they are, and that's why there's going to be a lot of pressure on them to win tonight. So, I like Baylor.
I think if I'm going on FanDuel today, I'm gonna go with Gonzaga. I don't know. I think that's probably where I haven't looked up their odds yet. We should look those up on FanDuel and see what the odds are. But I think I'm going with Gonzaga. But 40-1 odds if you're a new user to win the championship game. So if you've been watching from the sidelines all tournament long, this is the perfect time to get in on the action. Or if your bracket was busted in the first round or two, and so you don't have much shot at making much money in your own games, maybe try it this way. Just download FanDuel Sportsbook, make your first deposit, and then you get 40-1 odds. The app is easy to use, very intuitive. When you win, you get your money in as little as 24 hours, and that's a pretty good deal. Just use my name, Monroe, in the promo code box. That way they know that we sent you here on the Watchdog Morning Show. I always have to tell you, you must be 21 years of age or older. You must be physically present in West Virginia or Pennsylvania. This is for new users only. You must wager the designated offer market. The $10 first deposit is required. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. And as always, if it's fun for you, if you just want to add a little action to your enjoyment of the game, bet on FanDuel and download it. But if gambling is a problem for you, and it is for some people, then call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net. FanDuel Sportsbook with 40-1 odds on tonight's game for any new user. More ways to win. Later on this week, by the way, we'll talk about, they got a special deal coming up, Biffy, on the Masters.
Yes, Masters starts on Thursday at Augusta.
We'll tell you tomorrow when we talk about FanDuel about some special Masters odds they're going to have out there for you. FanDuel Sportsbook, one of our fine sponsors. 7:37, 23 before the hour now. We'll talk a little bit more. We'll stick to sports in a minute or two here, Biffy, after we get down with Zach and talk about the weather. Major League Baseball pulling the All-Star game out of Georgia. Boy, is that creating some controversy. We'll talk about that and more coming up as the Watchdog Morning Show continues. But first, Ohio Valley headlines for you. Mr. D has some sports, and then we'll check in with Zach Petty from the Big 7 and find out what happened to what I thought was going to be a nice day today. Turns out it's going to be a rainy day. Rainy days and Mondays always get me down.
The WTRF Channel 7 News Update is brought to you by Thomas.
Alrighty.
The Ohio as soon as possible.
Ohio, I'm heading home to you. I'm not buying till I check on for.
Most of us are faced with uncertainty every day. Your job,
your finances, sporting events, schooling for your children, and so much more. With so much uncertainty surrounding you, there's one auto dealership that you can be certain about, and that's Doane Ford. You can be certain that you always get a great deal and the best service afterwards. Being in business for over 50 years has given Doane Ford the reputation of being a strong, reliable dealership. Be certain. Choose Doane Ford. Online at DoaneFord.com.
I'm not buying till I check Doane Ford.
A serious injury from an accident can be just the start of your worries. What if you cannot return to work? How do you take care of your family if you're disabled? At Gellner Law Offices, we represent seriously injured people and understand their problem. We know how to get you fair compensation. We will work hard to make sure you get the money you deserve for your losses. Don't go it alone. If you're hurt in an accident, call us at 304-242-2900 or visit us at GellnerLaw.com.
We'd like to help.
The timeless sounds of polka live here. Join us 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays for the Polka Showcase with Rich Biella. Sunday mornings never sounded so good.
You can vote in our Watchdog poll and read commentary in our blogs on WatchdogNetwork.com. The Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe continues.
Major League Baseball pulling the All-Star game out of Georgia, and will the Masters be next? We'll talk about that coming up in a bit. Plus, once again, something that shouldn't be controversial becomes a big political flashpoint, and that is whether or not businesses can ask you if you've been vaccinated before you come into their business. We'll talk about that in just a bit. But first, let's talk about the weather, where I guess it's going to be an overcast and rainy day today. Zach Petty is here from the Big 7. Good morning, Zach.
Well, good morning, Howard. How are you today, sir?
Well, I had a good weekend, had a great day. Sort of a great day yesterday. I twisted my ankle and couldn't walk, but the whole family was great. The weather was great. It was a beautiful day. Had a great Easter lunch, so all was good. And I was looking forward to another great day like that today, but not so much, huh?
At least for the morning, you can expect to be relatively nice. Maybe sit out on the porch, listen to the birds chirp and sing along, because it's going to be relatively nice. Mostly sunny skies outside right now, but it does look like conditions will change as we head later on into the afternoon and approach dinner time. Looks like some overcast skies will actually start to build in with a chance of some spotty April showers into the forecast, and that's kind of going to be the common theme. I was trying to combine feature and theme, and I don't even know what I was trying to say.
The theme is good. It's a common theme.
Yeah, so it's a common theme going to be for this work week.
Well, and they always say April showers bring May flowers, so I guess some showers today is again, it's spring. It's spring after all, so that's acceptable. We can live with it. Might even see a rumble of thunder though this afternoon, right?
Yeah, that is possible too. And then again, if we did a cookie cutter forecast, let's do it for today and tomorrow. High temperatures in the upper 60s today, pushing into the low 70s tomorrow. Kind of going to be one of those, again, copy and paste, rinse or repeat, where morning hours should be relatively okay. A couple of clouds, maybe more so likely into the afternoon today and tomorrow. Chance of those showers developing. Again, we have an upper level disturbance starting to swing and is just kind of going to hover around from the Great Lakes region down into the Panhandle, southeastern Ohio, and southwestern Pennsylvania. So not everyone's going to get on the rain activity. You might say to yourself, oh, hey, here in I don't know, a town, let's say Bel Air, that was the first one that came up. Hey, we're sunny in 75 or sunny in 72. We're over into, let's say, Elm Grove, because I know that's where you live. You're seeing cats and dogs style of rain. So it's going to be one of those type of rain events this afternoon and evening.
Going to be a warm week, though, all week long, right?
Oh, yeah, we'll be staying into that upper 60s, if not pushing into the low to mid 70s for most of the work week. And the only good news that I have is Wednesday, shaping up to be pretty nice, partly cloudy. Should be dry the entirety of the day. High temperatures pushing into that mid 70 range before we do see some widespread rain returning as we head into Thursday as a cold front pushes by. So unfortunately, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but I already broke it to Biff early on whenever I called in looks like you might want to push your golfing to Wednesday, not Thursday, for your golf game.
First day out, and you're already getting rescheduled. Your first day out, they're rescheduling you.
It is Monday, so I'm hoping that the models by Thursday will trend differently, or maybe the timing of the rain will be different. So.
True. That is a possibility.
Zach, I think you and Dr. Dave need to get up there on top of the building and, huff and puff and try and blow those rain clouds, maybe into Friday, and let Biff have his Thursday. Can you guys do that?
I think I would need almost the entire country to do that.
Well, we
get those box fans.
We don't want to help Biff. We want him to have his golf in, so we would all help him.
It would. Go ahead.
I was going to shift gears here. I thought that Stephen asked you a really interesting question this morning, because there's philosophy behind it, I believe. Do you prefer sunrises or sunsets? And in terms of sort of the palette tends to be the same, you tend to kind of look the same, if you will. Do you prefer sunrises or sunsets? And it got me thinking about it. And I think there's some philosophy there. The sunrise is the beginning of the day, and it provides hope for what's about to come. A beautiful sunset is when you stop and reflect and say, "Boy, what a great day it's been." There's some philosophy there. I also think, to be brutally honest, it's more a function of, and I want to get your take on this a bit more because you didn't just talk about it a whole lot on the Big Seven, but it's also a function of just your timing. You and I we don't see the sunrise as much because we're inside by the time the sunrise. Yeah. So I think that's it's a function of that as well. But have you thought about it after he asked that to you? Because it was a really good question. Sunrise or sunset?
Yeah, I kind of was thinking about it, but first let me say this with your philosophy side of things, Howard. I think you should write some sort of memoir, do some sort of philosophy notes just from all of your radio time. I'm sure that would be very interesting. The philosophical talks with me, Howard Monroe. I think that should be a segment for you during your morning shows. But in terms of sunrise or sunset, again, I'll probably have to go with sunrise because it goes from night to day, and I've always been navy blue is my favorite color. And whenever you kind of get into the golden hours, the pre-dawn hours, 30 minutes before sunrise, everything's very quiet and tranquil navy blue color. And then you start getting the lighter and lighter shades of colors with the bright blue starting to peak its way where when you're looking out east where the sun's starting to come up. So I would have to say sunrise is going to be my favorite between sunrise and sunset.
Biffy, how about you? Sunrise, sunset?
I'm going to go with sunrise just for the simple fact that 2 years ago when we flew to Virginia on our way down to Key West, when we flew out of Pittsburgh, it was in the almost the part where you could just see the sun beginning to rise. It was the late overnight into that morning. And when you're up there in the clouds and you get to kind of see that and everything, it's pretty cool. So I'm going sunrise for me.
Yeah, I think I'm probably there too. Again, I think philosophically it's more of a what a wonderful day it's going to be. It kind of raises the hopes and so on. Plus, I guess I think of sitting at the beach. Normally go to the Atlantic Ocean, sitting at the beach and watching the sunrise over. It's just. It's like, here comes a great day. Here comes a great day.
Right.
I think I'm going. So we're 3 sunrises here, I guess, right?
Yeah. I think that would be a common theme. But again, there's still everyone else who'd say, sunset, and probably for the same reasons except opposite-wise. But still, they're both gorgeous. I mean, they're both very photogenic for sure.
Well, if you want to text me, you can do that, folks. 304-214-1600. A sunrise or sunset, assuming they're both beautiful, assuming it's a nice, gorgeous sunrise, nice, gorgeous sunset, which do you prefer, sunrise or sunset? I think, or as Tevye said in Fiddler on the Roof, sunrise, sunset, sunrise, sunset, swiftly go the years. Okay, got my singing in this morning now. All right, Zach, a little philosophical conversation amongst our weather chat this morning. I appreciate it. And,
of course. Glad to fill in.
Yep, absolutely. We'll talk to you again tomorrow. Thanks a lot.
All right, sounds good. Let me know how that survey goes on the text line tomorrow.
All right, appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Yep.
Zach Petty from the Big 7, WTRF TV. Yeah, text me just for fun. Sunrise or sunset? Again, I see philosophy behind it. I see sunrise is the hope of the day. The sunset is it's been a wonderful day, but now it's over. So one is hope and expectation. The other is reflection and meditation. That's kind of the way I look at it. Text me your thoughts on it. 304-214-1600. 7 before the hour, 42 degrees. Do we have a break, Biffy, or not?
We are good.
On Friday, Major League Baseball announces pulling this year's All-Star Game out of Atlanta in protest of the new voting law in Georgia. And boy, has that created controversy all over the place. Former President Barack Obama congratulated the MLB for taking a stand on behalf of voting rights for all citizens. Former President Donald Trump called on fans to boycott baseball, and I quote here, all the woke companies that are interfering with free and fair elections. Sometimes you just don't know what he's talking about there. He specifically mentioned Coke and Delta Airlines, which also have expressed their opposition to the new law. The governor of Georgia, of course, is furious about it. He says that the MLB has given in to Joe Biden and the Democrats, cares more about them than MLB does over the people of Georgia. And he does have a point. A lot of people in Georgia and Atlanta would have been working for the All-Star Game and made some money there. But this is where we are anymore, Biffy, and I don't think it's necessarily bad. You're starting to see more and more businesses beginning to try and take a stand. And MLB, Major League Baseball. Now, let's be clear. I don't think they took a vote on this, did they, Biff? I think this was just the Major League Baseball commissioner said, we're not going to go to the All-Star Game.
Yeah, and which forced the Atlanta Braves. They came out with a statement and basically said, listen, this wasn't our idea. You know, we had nothing to do with this. If you're upset, don't blame us. It was the commissioner of Major League Baseball that made the decision.
I haven't heard too many other teams. Atlanta, and I get it. It was going to be in Atlanta. And I think they've covered up the All-Star patch on their uniforms and all that kind of stuff.
And I think
I haven't heard really from too many other teams making any comments yet, have you?
No, and I think what the talk is, and it makes sense because, and this is why you feel bad for it leaving Atlanta, because this year they were going to honor Hank Aaron, who played for the Atlanta Braves, so they were going to honor him, and they can't do that, so the thought was, well, he played in Milwaukee, so why not have the All-Star Game in Milwaukee? That way they can still honor Hank Aaron in some way, granted not being in Atlanta, but if you got to find another place, okay, we can do it in Milwaukee and still kind of, honoring the way that they want it, just not in Atlanta.
I don't think there's much chance they're going to change their mind at this stage of the game. I think it's a done deal at this point. And again, I do get the argument that it's but I guess that's the point. Part of the point is to hurt a little bit, at least hurt the state and in terms of tax revenue and so on, because they feel the state has made a bad mistake in this new voting law. By the way, I keep hearing a lot of talk about how people say, it's not what the media says it is, and that new voting law isn't, it's all being mischaracterized. I went and looked at the law. No, it's pretty much exactly what the media says it is. Pretty much exactly what the media says it is. And what we've been hearing. I still think the most egregious part of it is they've made it literally a crime to give water or drink to anybody standing in line waiting to vote. Now, I get the point. I get they don't want campaigns to be able to come and say, I'm representing Brad Leonard for Congress. By the way, here's Brad wants to feed you and give you water. I get that point, but nobody can do it. And I know I saw some things online saying, no, they're allowed to do it, just only the campaigns can't. That's not true. No, nobody can provide food or water to anybody standing in line. How do you deny water to people standing in line to vote? I mean, that's just, I don't know how people are going to want it, but for God's sake, you're going to actually make it a crime? So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. And then, Biff, you mentioned earlier the Masters coming up this week, right?
Yeah, the Masters starts actually this week. They're down there right now, but the first round starts on Thursday.
Keith Olbermann, who I kind of like, but he is a little bit of a radical, formerly of ESPN, then of MSNBC, is urging a boycott of the Masters. Saying that the PGA should not recognize the tournament, and ESPN and CBS should not broadcast it. So now the Masters really can't move. I mean, the Masters is what the Masters is, right?
Don't mess with the Masters. I mean, that's tradition. Don't mess with tradition.
You can't play it somewhere else. You can't move the Masters to the Greenbrier.
No, leave tradition alone here. There are certain things you can be upset about, but leave the Masters alone. That's tradition.
Yeah, and again, it is an event of place. The NFL pulled the Super Bowl from Arizona back in 1991 because they didn't want to have a Martin Luther King holiday. NBA pulled, remember this, the All-Star game out of Charlotte because of North Carolina's law that they were passing back then. But those are special events that can be and often are different places. I don't know. I like Olbermann, but I think the Masters is the Masters, and it is played in Augusta. And that I think maybe is, even for me, one step too far. But then again, that's probably, as I said on Friday with McKee, why I might lose my liberal card here one of these days. All right, it's 8 o'clock on the Watchdog Morning Show. Let's check in with ABC. They're next.
The Watchdog is FM 98.1, AM 1600 WKKX Wheeling, FM 97.7, AM 1370 WVLY Moundsville.
The ABC News is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
The potential.
Okay.